Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Joliet, Illinois, site to race number 12 of the Reebok Truck Series Season 3 season. Wow, that was terrible, but hey, oh well. Front row today is on the pole, Alan Cavagnaro, and starting alongside is Jonathan Zorline. Row 2 finds Paul Swanson, the Canadian, and our points leader, Jay Stella. William Duncan and Dillon Young, the hometown hero, make up row number 3. It's Mason Powers, Charles Jackson, row 4, and Henry Powers and Alex Perkle in row 5. Here's the rest of the starting grid as I go through the points coming into play. We mentioned Jay Stella is the points leader by a commanding 105 points over the number 61 Ford of Trevor Germain. Amanda Shelley is 148 points back in third, and those are the only 3 drivers who can leave this race as the points leader. Steve Pollard, Eric Powers, Dillon Young, Dylan Thoreau, Ashley LaPlante, Alex Perkle, and Tom Shelley
start your engines!
Are the top 10 in points. As you see, starting back here in the back is Trevor Germain. On the final row is Austin LaPlante and Katone Nakagawa. Katone comes into this race 25th in points, so desperate for a good run here as she does not want to fall out of the top 30 in points. Our onboarding cameras today will be carried by the top 8 in the points, so you look at Jay Stella, Trevor Germain, Amanda Shelley, Steve Pollard carrying the manufacturer onboards of Dodge, Ford, Toyota, and Chevy in that order. Eric Powers carrying the South Point Hotel and Casino onboard camera. Dillon Young, the Bass Pro Shops onboard. Dylan Thoreau carries the Good Sam onboard camera. And Ashley LaPlante will be carrying the CSM onboard camera today. See the skid marks there? Those from our main practice crash that involved Binky Louvier, and then these skid marks from the crash that involved Dylan Thoreau in practice. So yeah, some interesting things happening. One thing I'll say is they're getting ready to get the green flag. Jessica Shelton fastest in the opening practice, but that was run under the cloud cover. William Duncan was fastest in happy hour run under the similar conditions. Green flag is out. We're ready to go. Down turn number 1, Alan Cavagnaro gets the early lead over Jay Stella, the points leader. Points leader wants to grab 5 bonus points, but I think the rest of the field would rather she didn't. Or he didn't, I'm sorry. Wow, that was bad. But here we go. Duncan in the wall in the 30. Looks like everyone's going to get around him. So far, so good. And it's Cavagnaro leading lap 1. The 2 got the outside run off turn number 3, apparently. Dillon Young goes for second. Henry Powers trying to make it 3 wide there. Look at the 4 truck of James Shelley, the all-time winningest driver in the Reebok Truck Series there on the inside line as Henry Powers checked up again. So yeah, inside line, not where you want to be when you're battling with someone off turn number 4. 3 wide for third between Jay Stella, Jonathan Zorline, and Henry Powers. Stella loses a lot. Meanwhile, Dillon Young going for the race lead in the Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet. And looks like he will be able to do it. New race leader, it's Dillon Young. Cavagnaro hung around there. Henry Powers gets the 3rd. James Shelley 4th. Preston Plord the top 5. Cavagnaro now starting to fall back a little bit. Here goes James Shelley to the inside. That's for 3rd. Henry Powers goes for the race lead though. The 33 wants it now. Dillon Young got his 5 bonus points. Here comes Henry Powers wanting his. Looks like a little bit of a slick track. Jay Stella almost up in the wall in the 42. Dillon Young will be able to hang on to the lead. Stella's still struggling on the outside of 3 wide back there. And going through turns 1 and 2, now Henry Powers, the Ream Chevrolet, will grab the race lead. But for how long? Because here comes James Shelley. Preston Plord wants a crack at the top spot as well. Looks like Henry Powers should be able to hang on to it. 3 wide for the top spot. Run to the line. Oh my god, if that was the finish, that would have been amazing. Oh, contact between Cavagnaro and Jackson. 3 wide down the back straightaway. It's Chicagoland. Jeff James in the middle of that, the 99. Jessica Shelton, Zach Kreller, Dillon Young up in this. Paul Swanson, the Canadian, now goes to the lead for Germain Racing. Lot of action all over this field. Cavagnaro starting to fall back. 3 wide, Kyle Collins, Dylan Thoreau, and Mason Powers, the 3. As Henry Powers, the 33, is in the wall. Still keeps it going straight, though. Kind of got lucky that his brother Mason Powers or something there was behind him. Dillon Young gets the wall off turn 4. Track a little bit slicker than it was in the opening practice session. As Preston Plord gets kicked up to the high side by Hiroshi Kazuyoshi, James Shelley takes the opportunity to go inside as well. And Jessica Shelton says, hey, while the door's open, I'll take a crack at it, trying for the top 5 in the Napa Chevrolet. As it's Toyota, Toyota, then Chevy, 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 the top 5. James Shelley now goes for 3rd on Kazuyoshi, and will get the spot. Meanwhile, Charles Jackson going for the top spot on Paul Swanson. Jessica Shelton now wants 3rd. The Camping World Toyota, though, going for the race lead. And Zorline making it 3 wide for 3rd. Loses all the momentum, though, and it goes right back to the 9 and the 4 battling it out. And Swanson leads at the line. Kazuyoshi takes advantage of the 98 having to get out of the throttle, takes the spot to back to the inside line there, and will get, I think, 4th away actually from the 4. Meanwhile, they're 3 wide now for 2nd as Jackson gets the top spot away. And it looks like Kazuyoshi going to have to get out of it, so now Jessica Shelton into 2nd in the Napa 9. 3 wide for 3rd behind. Looks like Kazuyoshi should be able to prevail now with that 3rd spot. Zorline wants 3rd as well. And Swanson on the extreme high side trying to highline it down this back straightaway. Trevor Germain, remember, he started in the back. He's working his way up into the top 10 now, the 61 truck. And Jessica Shelton is going for the top spot here on Charles Jackson. Not going to be able to do so just yet. Looks like Kazuyoshi going to try and make a peek to the outside of the 9. Shelton able to keep a nose there, though, on the 54. Zorline right behind her. Going to try and push the 9 down the back straightaway, it looks like. Never mind, here goes the Carolina Nut Company Toyota for the race lead. 3 wide here at Chicagoland once again. And it's going to be Jessica Shelton prevailing as James Shelley makes it 3 wide now for 2nd. There goes Shelton getting 5 bonus points for leading a lap. And just like that, already 12 laps complete out of the 27 we will run. Halfway home, I think, already. A little bit under, but hey, whatever. Shelley now to 2nd. Cavagnaro going back to 3rd. Amanda Shelley making a move up to front as Jackson's in the wall. 54 truck. They're 4 wide. Germain is around. Almost saves it. Mason Powers gets into it. Caution flag flies. Kyle Collins has damage. That was almost an impressive save by Germain. Caution flag does fly, and Jessica Shelton has taken the caution flag as the race leader. Looking back here, make sure there's no stack up so I don't have to change anything with the INI. Doesn't appear so. Wow. As looks like these guys are, I think, trying to wait for whoever came across the line. Oh no, they're trying to wait. What are they trying to wait for? think they're trying to wait for Oriole Pollard to try and get out to the front of this. Leaders do not pit, though, which means it will be time to take a look at what exactly happened to the 61. We saw the 54 in the wall, and we know that's where it kind of started. I want to watch the save that Jermaine tried to... The job Jermaine did at trying to save this truck, though. We're going to try and take a look at this through the TV2 camera here coming off turn number 4. You see Jackson's in the wall. Jermaine's going to slide up into the 54. And that's the 23 that hits him. And he's trying to save it, trying to save it, trying to save it. Kyle Collins actually gets into him, and Mason Powers gets into the 61. Or into the 45, actually. But that was an impressive job at trying to save that truck. Almost got it. One extra look. Sorry. We're just going to do this look at about 1/3 speed. I mean, you see the damage there to the 61. 90 degrees sideways, so I mean, he is around. But trying to save it with minimal damage to anyone else. And I think if the 45 was not there, he has this saved, I think. But oh well. With that, we will go back to the green flag here from Chicagoland. Jessica Shelton is your race leader. And we are back, and it's going to be a 10-lap shootout to decide a winner here in the NRSL 225. Jessica Shelton is your leader, and James Shelley, Alan Cavagnaro, Amanda Shelley, Paul Swanson, Hiroshi Kazuyoshi, John Irvin, Jonathan Zorline, Dylan Thoreau, and Max Neuwirth is the top 10. Trevor Germain is out in 42nd, and Kyle Collins out in 41st. Looking for where the points leader coming in is restarting. Well, you have to go way, way back. He's starting in 37th. You see Mason Powers, no hood. Field in control of the Napa 9. Jessica Shelton leads us down, and the green flag is out. We're underway once again. Shelley to the outside of the 9, coming down to the front straightaway. Going to get back in line. Irvin does the right thing, waits till after the line makes a move to the inside. And Shelley now goes for the top spot. Amanda Shelley gets put up to the high side as well by Paul Swanson. Cavagnaro goes for second. Does he try for more, though, on the Arrowhead 4 of James Shelley? Yes, he does. There he goes. Looking to the inside, not able to do it. John Irvin, our Daytona winner, up to 4th. 2 Germain trucks up here. The 03 and... Well, never mind, not Germain. Sorry, you have the 03 and you have the 13. Not 2 exact teammates, but they are good friends. Cavagnaro going for the top spot. Now Irvin goes for 3rd. And he's wanting more. He's wanting 2nd. They're almost going to be 3 wide for that spot. And look at the run. James Shelley just got on the outside line. Look at that run. 3 wide for the lead as they go into turn number 1 with 8 laps to go. John Irvin to the top spot. Desperate need of a good run. Kazuyoshi going for the top spot now. Here comes Dylan Thoreau, the rookie. Shelley in the wall in the 4. Whoops, wrong truck. Oh, and around goes Washer. Huge wreck on the front straightaway. Dillon Young's in it. Sam Young in it. Greenwich in the 19 is involved. Louvier in the 51 absolutely destroyed. Our points leader, Jay Stella's in it. Kato Nakagawa in the 7. Greg Jones. Caution has been taken by the leaders. This is not going to be a green-white checkered yet. There's Washer's truck. Greg Jones looks to be involved. I'm not sure Mason Powers was. Sam Young just trying to get back to a spot. Seth Cole's got damaged in the 34. Tim Greenwich in the 19's got damaged. The 84 was around. They're waiting for Sam Young to get in front of Dillon Young. Sky Commons has to get in front of some people as well. Once again, leaders do not pit. James Shelley, that's a shock that he doesn't pit. And the leader is John Irvin. A huge wreck, though, has just occurred off turn number 4. Let's take a look at what happened. Well, this wreck itself really starts back in turn number 3 when Shelly gets the wall, rides this wall all the way through turns 3 and 4. And we're going to look at TV2. Washer gets pushed up the track by the 77 for whatever reason. And this just allows that to happen there. There's Neuwirth in the 50. Perkle in the 83 gets sent to bomb. Pollard in the 72 is involved. There's Nakagawa. Austin the Plant. Kyle Matthews just barely gets away from it in the 5. There's Tim Greenwich in the 19. Greg Jones. There's the 1 of Dillon Young. Sam Young in the 84 just turns him around. Ashley LaPlante gets through it amazingly. We'll have to take an onboard with her through this. The 97 going into it. There's Seth Cole. Not sure what damage he actually gets. James. Oh, so Mason Powers actually does run into back of Jay Stella. Not going to take a whole lot of looks at the actual wreck itself. Let's just take some onboards now. Starting with the 22 of Ashley LaPlante. Oh my god! How did she make it through that? Onboard Dillon Young. Oh, Seth Cole actually hits Chris Washer there. I don't think he actually hit a whole lot of anything there. Great job by Dillon Young. And we are back. It will be a 3-lap shootout. John Irvin is your leader. Then it's Hiroshi Kazuyoshi, Dylan Thoreau, Alan Cavagnaro, Jonathan Zorline, Paul Swanson, Steve Pollard, Jeff James, Jessica Shelton, and Amanda Shelley, the top 10. Jay Stella has retired, so has Chris Louvier, Chris Washer, Tim Greenwich, Seth Cole, all out of the race. 2 clutch problems in this race due to wrecks. Okay. As looking through the rest of the field, see where you are at. And Henry Powers has actually blown up from 32nd, the Ream Chevrolet. Meanwhile, the green flag is back out. John Irvin with a nice jump there over Kazuyoshi. Dylan Thoreau took it to the outside line. Not going to be able to get back in line because Cavagnaro has filled that hole. Swanson all over the back bumper of the 98, though. How about 2 ThorSport trucks, though, in the top 5? A great showing for the ThorSport group here. The 13 and 98. They might be not done wrecking yet. Swanson on the outside of Steve Pollard. Jeff James on the outside of the 9. 2 laps to go from Chicagoland. And Kazuyoshi making a peek. Hasn't won yet this season in this series. But here comes Zorline as well to the inside. Cavagnaro. It's going to give Irvin the run off this corner. White flag. 1 lap to go for John Irvin, looking for win number 2 on the season. Kazuyoshi just looking for a win. Irvin tries to get the run on the outside. He knows that's his only hope. Side by side, even drag racing down the back straightaway. Here comes Dylan Thoreau to the inside. Could that give Kazuyoshi all he needs? No, off the final turn. It's going to be John Irvin who wins at Chicagoland. Kazuyoshi gave it a great effort, but going to come up just short. Meanwhile, I just see this. Kyle Matthews in the top 10. And with that, every driver in this series this season has scored at least 1 top 10 finish. Woo! It only took us 12 races. But John Irvin with the victory here today. Great job to him. Or congrats to him and all that. Top 10 today: John Irvin, Hiroshi Kazuyoshi, Dylan Thoreau, Jonathan Zorline, Paul Swanson, Alan Cavagnaro, Steve Pollard, Jeff James, Jessica Shelton, and Kyle Matthews. And on a day when the top 2 in points run into problems, a gearbox failure on the 33, no one's going to be able to capitalize to take over the points lead, but it certainly will close up there at the top. Amanda Shelley with a great run, finishes 17th. Not going to get the points lead, but will close up the gap a lot. But with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a like if you enjoyed. That was a great race. I enjoyed bringing it. Congrats to John Irvin on his second win on the season. Pretty much locking him into the chase. He was 21st in points coming into today. But John Irvin with the victory. I'll see you next time.